there's a real business that exists here where there's exchange of money, and that feeling really is something I'm really proud of. The Feelings Check-In is a podcast for people who love to listen to two women overshare about the challenges of building a business, navigating careers in tech, and trying to have a personal life. I'm Natasha Hoskins.
I'm sitting here on the other side of the fence with a media company where it's much more ambiguous whether or not this is working. Mm-hmm. There's very little hard metrics to be able to point to say, as a media company, this is working or it's not working. We have found product market fit or we haven't found product market fit. It feels a lot more nebulous. And I'm jealous of what feels like a more singular mission to like launch an app into the world and see whether or not it works. I think also embedded in that feeling for me is I feel like so much of finding product market fit for Boys Club and finding success for Boys Club is hinged and tied to people liking me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't want to be liked. It feels like every day I'm carrying that around, and it may or may not even be true. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like the Boys Club brand is robust enough on its own for it to exist outside of me in the way that Ben Rubin is creating Towns, and it's going to sit outside of him. Boys Club is not sitting outside of me in that way. Yeah. And I'm also jealous of that. So I don't know. Those things came up for me.
Yeah, Dina's jealous of Ben Rubin. Yeah, I really feel that. I was struck by a similar thing of there's just a real clarity to what he's building. And of course, it's not like that when you're in it. And
I'm also sure he's gonna listen to this and be like,
what are you even talking about?
What are you guys talking about? My path isn't clear at all. And the challenge ahead of me feels insurmountable. I don't know, maybe he won't, but that could very well be what it feels like on that side.
Yeah, totally. Something that has been really encouraging in other conversations I've had with him is when I was talking about Boys Club and what we're building and what we've been up to. And I was like, oh yeah, we're bootstrapped, of course, because I can't not talk about it. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, you guys went on hard mode. And it was a really nice thing to say. And I've thought about that a lot because it does feel oftentimes like we are on hard mode. Mm-hmm. And the conversation that followed was basically talking about the priorities of a business that is bootstrapped and how much it's more about your P&L and being able to pay yourself and your employees. And there's like a real business that exists here where there's exchange of money. And that feeling really is something I'm really proud of. And like something that I think when I feel all the downsides of building something that is a lifestyle brand, which feels incredibly unclear what sometimes the goals are and what this business is going to look like in 5 years. And when I talk to all my other friends who are builders and founders that are building businesses that are meant to scale and that are venture backed and that are in a very different sort of situation in their day-to-day around the thing that they're thinking about, feels really hard and very isolating. And I'm just struck by that we're building a different type of business and that there are some good things to that and some downsides to that. I will say one thing that happened this week that was really encouraging is one of the girls that I met in Singapore who was like looking for her people and found me, and now is like, come into the Boys Club fold. And she was like, do you want to get a drink this weekend? And I was like, totally. So I met her, of course, Times Square, Ladif, for a little drink in Small Lives to talk about our careers and our lives. And she's so cute and she's great and very young and 23 years old, first job in New York, whatever. And something that she said that really encouraged me was she was like, yeah, I didn't know anything about Boys Club. And then she talked to another Boys Club member in Singapore, and she was like, yeah, we talked for like 2 minutes or less around Boys Club. And she was like, yeah. And I was just like, immediately yes. These are my people. And when I tell back the story of building Boys Club to people and like how it started and the lore of it, one of the things that I say is like, yeah, for the first year and a half, you and I did not focus on building a business. We focused on building a brand. We were just like, let's just build something that got a ton of smart people in the room and had them care about this thing. And we did that for a year and a half. We made zero money, and every dollar that came in went to the community, really, like throwing parties and doing events and things like that. And like that was in an effort to build something that had a lot of legibility in terms of who it was for. And that has always been our guiding principle. Like, we don't really know what the business is going to look like in 5 years. And we don't really know, like, okay, media work, I guess products maybe, and like doing that. But the thing that we've had a lot of clarity around is like, who is Boys Club for? And that being really legible 3 years later to someone who randomly meets another member at a conference felt really encouraging and felt like, oh, there's some lasting power here. There's some equity that's been built into this brand that I'm really excited about. And that makes me feel not a scarcity mindset around it. And I think sometimes it's really easy to get into what is our product market fit? And honestly, like that girl being like, this is for me, that's our product market fit.
Yeah.
There's a brand fit there that opens up a lot of doors, I think, for us.
Totally. I think the counter to that could be our market.
It's the 3 women that were at Breakpoint.
But the market perhaps is smaller than
WhatsApp, a competitor to WhatsApp.
Smaller than WhatsApp.
Anyway, if you have the opportunity to talk to Ben Rubin about your project and being an entrepreneur, I really, really highly encourage it.
I do too. All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.